How's business down at the brewery?
So business is great. We've had a pretty wild kind of 2 years. We started in 2012, just towards the tail end. In 2014, we were up 80% over what we did in 2013, and we're kind of on pace to double that again this year. So it's, sales have been great. We've also just had a canning line come in yesterday, so we're expanding the type of packaging that we're doing. We just had a number of tanks come in, whereas you have a number of businesses that are a little bit more of this kind of web-based type of companies. We're very old school in that it's a lot of equipment and machinery and bright, shiny stainless steel.
Now, has anyone here ever been to Half Full Brewery?
Ooh. All right, thank you.
Yeah, and you're right near here, right?
Literally, if you went out the door, I almost walked here when I saw the line of cars coming up here, but it's about 2 blocks just through the wall here.
Wow. And how are you growing so fast?
So our thing, and I think this will probably resonate with a lot of you, is we're in a commodity business. If we actually had every single beer that was available in this room, you'd be able to choose between, I think, about 15 to 16,000 different beers. So for us to grow, it's really about kind of reinvesting locally. We do a lot of different local partnerships. UConn, right? I've been there to speak to their class. They've actually had MBAs come in and consult with us. We do stuff with local coffee shops. We did a beer with them. Stanford Innovation Center, we're actually getting involved in a number of events that they have, including the Startup Weekend. And so for us, it's kind of reinvesting locally, but it's also, because we are in a commodity business, it's about selling really more than just beer. We have a real kind of brand voice at Half Full. We're trying to intoxicate you kind of with this passion that we have. And so we spend a lot of time sweating the details of how our message comes across and how we can be more than just a brewery located in a physical space, but a brewery that stands for something a little bit bigger.
It's interesting, and these local, and like you were saying with the mortgages, and local, I think, is coming back. Not that it ever really went away, but the big word in marketing now is authentic.
Absolutely.
And there have been some stories in this winter about the state of Minneapolis. The state of Minnesota wanted to expand marketing, and anyway, they decided that what they had to do was be authentic, because the word authentic matches with local. And the people said, embrace the cold. Don't make believe that it's not 0 degrees every day there. And they built a whole industry, and they're selling snowshoes and skis, and they're embracing Minnesota. It's the same thing that happened with these Goose Down Arctic Explorer jackets that are everywhere this winter with the Arctic Explorer logo. And actually, in that case, Bain Capital came in and took them over. And they decided, instead of broadening out and trying to come up with, a Bermuda short summer line for Arctic Explorer, they embraced the roots that this company has made products in Canada since 1955, and Bain really put a lot of money behind it, and they have just taken off. So the last question before we get to the audience, what, to you, Connor, is the key to selling a premium-priced product?
Well, so like I kind of alluded to before, one is selling more than just a commodity, so trying to be different some way, somehow. Right? We're not the Homestead Avenue Brewery, that's our address. There's a lot of breweries like that, but we're the Half Full Brewery, about the glass being half full. So it's having something more than just beer to sell. But the other thing is we spend a lot of time, and we just actually hired 3 people in to spend time going out and personally connecting with all of our accounts. So we're, you talk about being authentic. We are going in and literally customizing pitches by account, every single bar, every single restaurant.
Tell me, though, just specifically, because you told me in the interview we did on the radio, that you look at their menu and say which beer.
Exactly. So we will go on and we'll look at what they have as a lineup, and we'll say, okay, they don't have this style beer. They don't have an amber, and they really need that to complement the other beers that they have. We'll also look at their menu and say, hey, we think that our bright ale, our core beer, goes really well with seafood, and they've got a couple different dishes. So, we're going to tell them, hey, 1, we think you should bring this in because it goes well with your menu, but 2, we're going to actually speak with your staff and tell them about how to talk about the beer with the menu and give them sound bites themselves so that they feel more educated, more interested in selling it. So one of the approaches we take is, let's put ourselves in their shoes. How do we make them money? And then back into how we want to sell them based on that. So it's very kind of, account by account customized.